Hi, I'm James, an illustration agent, and in this series I'm going to be answering questions from illustrators about the business of illustration. This is the second in the series. Last week I answered a question on the commissioning process, what's important for an illustrator and what's important for a client. You can watch that up here. Before I dive into this week's episode, if you want to send me a question, email me at the link in the description with the subject line YouTube question. If you want to be kept anonymous, let me know, otherwise share your Instagram handle with me and then viewers can go check out your work too. If you want to see the answer to your question, make sure you're subscribed. This week's question is from Gabriel, who's an illustrator in Montreal. You can check his work out here. He asked, from your agent's perspective, how do you value illustrators creating a persona of themselves online? Artist pictures, vlogs, or just a big presence of your daily life on social media? Is it something that really legitimizes your profile to clients? What could be a good balance in your opinion? I've changed my thinking on this recently. A few years ago I would have said it's all about the work. The quality of the illustration is what matters. I really wasn't a big fan of the influencer period where often the first question clients would ask would be how many social media followers does an artist have? I think that's looking at the creative skill backwards. Thankfully that seems to have died off now. Good quality illustration skill is obviously a priority, but there's a lot of that around. So how do you stand out? AI has also been an influence in me changing my opinion about this too. AI generated images can look really, really good, so you've got to compete with that too. So if an illustrator wants to work with great brands and clients, a unique style and well-developed skills are a given, but on top of that, you need to be able to demonstrate that you are the best fit for their brand. They could choose from any other illustrator, so being open and honest about your values and your interests and strengths is going to be what attracts the right kinds of clients to your work. AI has no opinions or interests or anything to say. If you have no opinions or interests and you've got nothing to say, then you're competing with AI. Some clients don't care about any of that, so they may choose AI for their illustrations, but the clients who want to work with real creatives will be looking for people who demonstrate their humanness. They want an illustrator who shares their values and interests and points of view. If you don't share any of that, they'll never know. Sharing this kind of personal information about yourself publicly will also repel some clients who don't think like you and who have different values. And that's a scary thought, because by publicly declaring what you think about things, you may be cutting off the possibility of working with some clients. And I think that's why a lot of people don't share much about themselves online. But those people will often find themselves working with clients they don't really like and they don't really care about. What if instead you were spending your days working with clients who you really like and who love the same things that you love? Is that worth the risk? I think so. Illustrators have felt a lot of pressure to make video content over the last year or so because that's what social media wants. But that's not the right reason to do it. The right reason to do it is so clients, the right kinds of clients, can see who you are, how you work, and if they like you, and if they want to work with you. There's plenty of things you don't need to share. What an illustrator had for breakfast is of no real value, but if that illustrator shares their opinions on important world issues like climate change, or they share their love of a particular brand of clothing, or they make geeky fan art for a particular computer game that they play, they're going to have a much better chance of being able to work with clients that also care about those things, and maybe even to work with that brand of clothing they like or that computer game they play. Even if you're not making video content to share this stuff, simply sharing your values and interests in your About page and in your personal work communicates the kinds of projects and clients that you might be a good fit for. If you're also sharing how you make your work and tips on your process that other people might find interesting, that also raises your profile because you're helping other people out. People like people who share their knowledge without any expectation of having the favor being repaid. So to sum up, yes, share more of yourself. You don't have to do a lot. You don't have to do a daily vlog unless it happens to be something that other people will find particularly interesting or useful. And you've got to be yourself. If you force it and you develop a persona that's not the real you, you'll attract the right kinds of clients and fans for the made-up persona, but not necessarily for the real you. I wouldn't say this stuff is a priority if you're still finding your feet as an illustrator, but once you get into the professional world, it can be a big advantage to show people that you're a real person with thoughts and feelings and niche interests and dumb hobbies. It makes you human, and other humans with dumb hobbies and niche interests will want to connect with you and hopefully hire you. So I hope that answers your question. If any of you have a question for me, email me at the link in the description with the subject line YouTube question. See you next time.